Hello everybody! Today I would like to take a look at a couple of gold farms that I really enjoy doing in WoW Classic Anniversary, but you can also do most of these in Hardcore as well. Over the course of this video we're going to take a look at the specific recipes that I like to farm, and at the end I'm going to explain why I think that these farms are pretty good or at least pretty underrated. As always, if you actually enjoy the video or find the content helpful in any way, please consider leaving a like or subscribing. If you want to hang out with me, you can also catch me over on Twitch at twitch.tv/sashixtv. You see it on your screen right now. And with that out of the way, let's get into the actual farms. First off, Superior Strength Bracer recipe, dropping in Deadwind Pass. You want to kill the Deadwind Warlocks for that one with a 1.1% drop chance. It sells for around 200 gold on Spine Shatter Anniversary right now, but it has a catch. There's only about 8 spawns and they're shared with Maulers. So what you want to do is you want to clear the whole cave regardless of what mob type there is, and you want to hope that actual Warlock spawns. On my Rogue I can do this farm pretty efficiently. The only problem really is that nowadays it's pretty littered with bots and not as lucrative as it was when I first started doing this in 2019. On my Warrior in 2019 I pretty much managed to finance my whole Epic Mount and Edge Masters with this farm because I was the only one doing it on a fairly medium-sized server. Obviously with the mega realms of today, it's a different story, and you can see here there's lots of bots there. Like this guy I killed like 4 times last night. Whenever I go there, there's at least one bot. So anyways, moving on, Hinterlands. This is maybe my new favorite farm. It's the Enchant Bracer Greater Intellect one. This one has a 1.3% drop chance, and to get it you're gonna wanna ride up onto the second level of Jinta Allure, the Elite Pyramid in the Hinterlands. And there's about, I would say, 8 mobs that can actually drop this recipe. It's the Vilebrand Shadowcasters, but there's 2 things that are actually pretty good about this farm. So you can see them here. It's the ones with the Voidwalkers. But yeah, what's good about this farm in particular is that you're not gonna find any bots doing it, because, I don't know, maybe they can't. I don't know. Anyways, there's barely any bots here. Maybe it's not worth it for them. Maybe there's too much traffic considering the questing. But what you can do, as you can see, it's my 60 warrior. I'm able to ride past all the mobs that I don't need, and I can just pick out specifically the Shadowcasters because they do not share spawns. They're guaranteed to spawn. I think there's like 8 of them or something. And yeah, you can either get really lucky and find it in 20 minutes as I did on my Rogue the other day, or you can spend, you know, hours or days here and not find anything. So these farms are pretty feast or famine, but if you get lucky, you get lucky, you know. I wouldn't really recommend sacrificing 4 hours for this recipe. If it doesn't drop within an hour, it's probably not worth continuing. You just kinda, you know, pick up the pieces, leave, and come back another time, maybe when you got some free time. That's just how I like to do these farms. Maybe other people enjoy spending 6 hours on this, but at the end of the day, the payday is between 150 to 200 gold. So yeah, you do the math, you know. So here you can see I'm trying to sell it for 149. And the next day it already sold. So these ones are pretty great for when you have some time to kill or you're in the area and you just wanna, you know, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take at the end of the day, so why not try? Next up we got the Greater Shadow Protection Potion, which drops in 2 spots in Eastern Plaguelands, the Noxious Glade, which is just north of Light's Hope Chapel, and the Fungal Vale. What's really nice about this farm is that you can combine it with, let's say, mining or herbalism, and you could actually try and find rich thorium veins in these places as well as Black Lotus. Now you might have noticed that I'm not giving any gold per hour on these farms, and that's because the mileage can vary. Like I said, I've been lucky sometimes. I've gotten 2 +9 strength bracer recipes off the Deadwind Warlocks and sold them for 400 gold in like half an hour, and sometimes I spend, you know, not at once but like over the course of multiple days. I go there for like an hour each and I spend like 10 hours and I get nothing. So it's not really about being the most efficient, but what's good about these farms is that you can do them without using your brain. So for this one though, that you see on your screen right now, this is the Shadow Protection farm, and what you want to do is you want to kill the Adepts and the Shadow Mages. They have a chance of dropping this with 1.6%, which isn't the greatest, but it sells for between 50 to 80 G on the auction house on Spine Shatter EU currently. but you're also gonna want to be killing these necro fiends on the screen here, because they share the spawns. If you just pick out the shadow mages whenever you're here, you're gonna end up with only fiends at some point, so you need to keep clearing and try to clear it efficiently if you really want to make good gold here. Same goes for the Greater Nature Protection Potion in Western Plaguelands. There's a cave here which has a bunch of slimes and a bunch of nature elementals, I guess you could call them. They're rotting behemoths, as well as the other one with the same model. These both drop the Greater Nature Protection Potion, as well as having a chance of spawning RTV in this cave. So this is once again a farm where you're gonna want to be a miner. It never hurts in these open world situations in the high-end areas to actually have mining if you want to really optimize your farming, but if you're just bored or you just want to hit something and maybe have a chance at, you know, making some gold, this is a good place to be regardless. Now, there's something to be said for this cave though, because whenever you kill the blue oozes, they're gonna spawn smaller oozelings, and if you're on a rogue, for example, with not so good gear and no AoE clear, you might run into trouble. But with my warrior, obviously having rank 14 gear, that was no problem. Last but not least, the obligatory inclusion, the Crusader recipe, which is obviously the big boy of these recipes, just dropping at 0.4% of around 7 mob spawns in total in Western Plaguelands. This is the most expensive and rarest recipe that you can farm, but I personally am not a fan of this farm. Especially on Spine Shatter or any of the bigger servers you're playing on right now, it's horrible to get. Like, it's being camped 24/7 and the chances aren't really great. In 20 years of playing WoW, I found this once. I mean, I didn't spend much time on it, but, you know, a couple hours for sure, a couple many hours actually. So this is my least favorite of the recipes, and I would not recommend farming it. However, if you get lucky, if you pass by, if you see a spellbinder that's up, definitely kill it, right? So what makes these farms good, or at least why am I a fan of these farms? The reason is that I can do stuff on the side. You know, I can either watch something on my second monitor, I can probably do home office even, and it's not really gonna cost me much, you know? If I have to AFK out for like a minute or two in between these farms, that's no big deal. But if you're actually doing a Mara pull as a mage, for example, you're gonna be locked in for the next 14 minutes and you better pay attention, otherwise you're gonna die and people won't be happy with you. So I really enjoy doing these open world farms. When I have some downtime, when I'm in the area, when I got some time, let's say I have half an hour to kill, right? I'll go over here, I'll kill, I don't know, probably around 20 to 25 warlocks at a, what is it, 1.3% chance, sorry, 1.1% chance. Those aren't great odds, you know, but it can happen and it's happened before, and just like that you have 200 gold extra. So these farms, I really like them, especially because my ADHD brain can't really work with a delayed reward. I need I actually need like a shot at getting something every time for me to be engaged. If I get 80 gold and I know that I'm gonna spend an hour of boosting SFK for it afterwards, that doesn't really work for me. Like, it's way more efficient, don't get me wrong, but I just don't enjoy it. And I like to do things that I enjoy, even though, yes, it's probably not as efficient time-wise, because you're never gonna get close to a skilled mage doing Stratholme, for example. But it's really low effort, it's zero investment, and half the time of doing this, I'm not even looking at my screen. I'm looking at my second monitor and doing something else, you know. I managed to finance my epic mount both in 2019 as well as now in anniversary on my Orc Rogue, just doing these farms. And I was quite hesitant, to be honest, to really share this. I mean, yes, people know about it, but it's not that much in the forefront. And I kind of wanted to guard this secret a little bit because this is how I make my gold. And I think that, especially with information like that, giving it away for free can kind of come back to bite you in the end. But, you know, since I've been seeing so many bots, especially at the +9 strength bracer recipe, I just figured that I might as well make this video, get the information out, if it's not already out there anyways, and yeah, ruin these spotters' days a little bit as they're ruining mine. So here you go. I hope you enjoyed it. Once again, if you did, please consider supporting me. Please consider stopping by my stream on Sashix TV on Twitch. Gonna be a bit more practical content coming probably, which I hope that you will enjoy that too. Take care and see you soon.